Hi everybody, welcome to week 3 of my series of community yoga classes called Healing Long Island. You don't have to be from Long Island to join in. I welcome everyone here. Thank you for joining me. I am a new yoga instructor and I'm really excited to continue my practice and practice on you doing these chakra healing classes. So this week is week 3. We've been working our way up from the root chakra. And now we are in the core, which I'm really excited about. I love core work. I know it's not for everybody, but try to keep an open mind. We're all at different levels. Just do what you can. The third chakra is called the Solar Plexus Chakra. It is radiant light shining from your core. Our core keeps us stable. It's about our ambition, about our confidence levels. If you are feeling kind of indecisive or having a lack of purpose, that could be an imbalance in your solar plexus chakra. So we're here to open it up a little bit, get our energy going. It's going to be a little bit of a longer class. I'm trying to make it to 60 minutes, but it might be a little shorter. And it's going to be a little more energized than the last 2 classes. I'm pretty excited about it. Hope you are too. Keep an open mind and get whatever you need. If you need a block, if you want a blanket or something to put under your knees, if you want your water, just have it all close by to you. I'm going to be back here. Don't mind my notes. If you can see them, I'm sorry. And if you're wondering why I haven't used any music, it's on purpose. I couldn't get the music to, the audio to really work over my voice. So I'm leaving you to your own devices. If you want some music, feel free to play your own playlist at home. I'll be working without one. If you're enjoying that, great. So let's get started. Face your mat perpendicular to me so you can see everything. I'm going to be facing you so that way you'll have a good view of everything I'm doing. We're going to start on a comfortable seat at the top of the mat. We're going to sit cross-legged in Sukhasana, put our palms up and hands comfortably over our knees. Today, I'd like to do a sun mudra, and a mudra is just a way to activate your energy centers by touching your fingers together. So you're going to take your ring finger and touch it to your thumb on both hands. Flip your palms up and put them over your knees. And this is just a way to connect to our radiant energy. It's connected to the solar plexus. You see I have my sun yoga pants on today to tie into the theme. And as we use our mudra, we're just going to breathe in and out, starting to connect to our breath, starting to bring ourselves present onto the mat, and not worry about what we just did or what we have to do. Those things are going to exist after this time. Give yourself this time to really be present. In thinking about the connection that you have with yourself, if you're disciplined, if you really sometimes can't get the energy to do what you need to do or want to do, or you have ambition, but you just can't harness your focus, this is a good chakra to open. So set an intention for your class today, maybe something you've been pushing off, something that will help encourage your confidence, that you can try something new maybe to open up to a new experience and take yourself out of your comfort zone. But whatever it is, just set your intention for yourself and start to connect to your breathing in and out. Now, one thing I learned in my yoga practice is when you inhale, your belly should be pushing outward. Most of us have the opposite, right? We inhale and our belly goes in, we exhale and our belly goes out. It's actually supposed to be the reverse. When you inhale, you push and make space in your chest for more oxygen, so that on the inhale you can really fill up. So just try to be conscious of that. It's counterintuitive to what most of us do regularly, but just be gentle with yourself, no judgment, just notice, okay? Okay, let's take a big inhale together and stretch our spine 6 ways to start. Inhale, arms rise. We're going to take a lateral stretch to the right. So your right hand comes down next to you on the side of your mat. Lean over to your right hand side. Your left hand The fingertips are pointing to the right hand side. You should feel a really great stretch in your side. This is a great way to start opening up. Take a few breaths here. And switch to the other side. Left hand down, right hand comes overhead. Shine your heart forward. Don't collapse it. Shine it up towards the sky. Gaze should be up gently. And you should really be feeling this in your side body. And let's do that one more time. To the right. Don't forget your breath. Stay connected to it. And to the left. Let's take a slight twist to the right by putting our left hand up in the air. Breath up. On the breath down, over your knee. Twist towards your right. Use your right hand as a second spine. That way your heart and your shoulders are melting down your back, your heart's shining forward, and you're just doing a gentle twist to the right. We're not very warm yet. We'll get there, but we're not there yet. And reverse. Right hand up in the air, comes over your left knee, push gently to the left. Your left hand can be a second spine behind you. Just to get some extra lift. So instead of just going like this, twisting with your shoulders down, putting your hand back there will help you lift your shoulders back and up. And again, twisting to the right gently. This is just going to get our spine in motion, warmed up. And now to the left. We're going to get a little bit more into the juice by doing our cat-cows like we always do. I really like this because I feel like it does open you up. You're going to get on your hands and knees if you're unfamiliar with this. Tops of the feet are going to be on the floor, and you're going to push your belly button up towards the sky for cat pose. And then on the inhale, you're going to flip your toes, balls of the feet to the ground, and gaze up. And we're going to do that a few more times at our own pace. Just get all those cracks out for the beginning of class. Don't forget your breath. Connect to your breath. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. All right, from here, we're going to come into hero's pose. So hero's is, I'll show it to you from this side. We're just going to sit back. Knees should be together. If you're flexible, you could splay your feet out to the side, along your side. Your knees will be still together. If you're not, and you can just lean back on, sit on your feet, that's also fine. Whatever you're comfortable with. I'm a little more flexible, so I'm going to sit back like this, and we're just going to do cleansing breaths 3 times. In through the mouth. Try to make your spine long, shoulders melt down the back, and on the exhale, we're going to say, ah. Okay? Inhale. Exhale. Ah. One more time. This is going to cool you down a little bit. Ready? Inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Some people are more comfortable with the more vocal ah, and some people aren't. Just do what works best for you. Okay. Let's crawl forward. We're going to push back into a downward dog. Now, I cannot get my heels to touch the floor, but if you can, good for you. You're going to be pushing back, your hips up into the air, pushing back. And right now, I mean, you can have your toes, your feet touching or your feet a little bit apart. I like mine a little bit apart. But wherever you are, if you're in good form, you should be able to roll right into a plank pose without moving your body, okay? So why don't you find that now? Are you in the right position to roll right into plank? Test it out and see what you think. Make a few motions of it, because we're going to be in plank for a little bit, okay? So get yourself situated, and when you find a good position, let's all meet up in plank pose. So your hands are, you're on your palms, you're on the balls of your feet, and you should be in a complete straight line. So you shouldn't have your tushy up in the air. You shouldn't have a bend to your back like this. You want to be as straight as you can. And hold this for 5 seconds, and then we're going to push back into downward dog, and we're going to keep going back and forth in 5 rounds. 5 rounds of breath here. We're on about round 3. 2 and 1. Now we're getting fired up in the core. Push back into downward dog for 5 breaths here. Take a little rest. We're going to do 2 more rounds of that, moving between plank and downward dog to really fire up our core and start to feel the energy rising in us. 2 more breaths here. And push forward into plank pose. Now your gaze should be right in front of your mat. You don't want your head twisted in a weird way. You don't want a lot of pressure on your neck. Just let your spine be long, one long line. Breath 3, inhale. 4 and 5. Push back. Good job, guys. I bet you're feeling that fire now. If you need to pedal out your legs while you're in down dog, or you want to sway your hips from side to side, feel free to do whatever feels good. This is your practice. If you ever need a break and anything becomes too much, just meet here in child's pose. There's nothing wrong with giving yourself a break if that's what you need, okay? For everyone who wants to continue, let's push back up into downward dog and forward into plank for 5 breaths. And make sure you're pulling your navel in. You want your legs to be active too. You don't want them slouching down. They should be your heels pushing back towards the back of the room, your palms pushing into the mat. 2 more breaths. And push back into downward dog. Alright, so that was our little warm-up, guys. Now we're going to go a little deeper into the core, okay? And we're going to do some plank rolls. So we're going to, on the breath in, lift our right leg into the air, roll forward, touch your knee to your nose, hold. Push it back up, 3-legged dog. On the exhale, bring your knee to your upper right arm. See if you can connect your knee to your upper right arm. Push back into 3-legged dog. On the exhale, come across your body. Right knee taps the left elbow. See if you can connect. And then bring it back, 3-legged dog. Put that leg down. We're going to do it around on the other side. Stay with it, guys. You got this. Just getting fired up. Left leg lifts into the air. On the exhale, we're going to bring our knee to our nose. See if you could touch. Round the back like cat pose. And then push out to 3-legged dog. On the exhale, roll forward, left knee to left elbow. Push back, 3-legged dog. On the exhale, left knee comes across the body. Try to tap the right knee or the right elbow or upper arm. And then back to 3-legged dog. Put that foot down. Come into child's pose for a quick rest before we do it all again for round 2. Now you could do child's pose with your knees together or your knees wide. I like knees wide. It feels good in my hips. But do whatever is best for you. And take 2 breaths here. And crawl back into downward dog, and we're going to do it again. 2 more rounds of this, guys. We're really going to heat up the core. Okay? Put your right leg up and back. Bend your knee, open up your hip. Bring it back, three-legged dog. Roll forward, knee to nose. Push back, three-legged dog. On the exhale, roll forward, right knee to right upper arm. Push back to three-legged dog. On the exhale, roll forward, right knee to left upper arm. Try to tap it. Back, three-legged dog. Put that leg down, pedal out the legs, and we'll go straight to the other side. On the inhale, lift the left leg up in the air. On the exhale, roll forward, knee to nose. On the exhale, back. On the inhale, put your leg up and back. On the exhale, left knee to left upper arm. Push back to three-legged dog. Cross the body, left knee to right upper arm. Tap. And come back to three-legged dog. Okay, one more round on each side, and then we're going to do a three-legged chaturanga if you can. Let's see how it goes. All right, on the inhale, right leg lifts. Knee forward, knee to nose. Three-legged dog. On the exhale, right knee to right upper arm. Three-legged dog, cross body, right knee to left upper arm. And back, three-legged dog. Put that leg down. Left leg lifts up in the air. Let's bend the knee, open up the hip. Okay, three-legged dog, ready? On the exhale, knee to nose. On the exhale, left knee to left upper arm, tap. Three-legged dog. On the exhale, cross the body, left knee to left to right upper arm, tap. Three-legged dog. Put that leg down. All right, everybody feeling warm now? All right, let's get into our first flow. We're going to do warrior 1 to warrior 2 to triangle. All right, now we're warmed up a little bit. Ready? Put that right leg, send it up and back. Bend your knee, open up your hip. Square up your hips. Three-legged dog. On the exhale, bring that foot forward, plant it in between your hands. Make your back foot come down at a 45-degree angle. We're going to rise up to warrior 1. First warrior 1 of the day. Try to keep your hips as square as possible to the front of the room. Hands up, gaze up. Keep that leg bent in the front. Don't let it come over your ankle. Your knee should be right in line with your ankle. Inhale. On the exhale, we're going to open up to warrior 2. So in warrior 2, you want your heel to align, the heel of your front foot to align to the arch of your back foot. You're going to keep your stance wide. Your knee is bent over your ankle slightly, and your hands are out to the side. Your gaze is very gently over the front fingers. Your shoulders should be rolling down your back. And breathe here for 2 breaths. We're going to straighten the front leg. We're going to pull our right hand forward towards the front of the room. When we feel we have reached the max, drop the hand wherever you can drop it, to your thigh, to your knee, to your ankle, to the floor. And then let the other hand rise up to the air. Gaze, if you can, up at that left thumb. This is triangle pose. Hold here for 2 breaths. Now we're going to do something difficult. Pull this hand back up and the left hand over to meet it. Hold like you're holding a beach ball over to the right hand side. This is engaging your core. 2 breaths here. Rise up and plant your hands to surround your foot. Come back down. Downward facing dog. We're going to skip the chaturanga, I decided. I think I'm giving you guys a hard enough time. Not sure what everybody's level is, but a chaturanga would definitely add. If you want to do a chaturanga in between each, you can. I'll show you how. Come forward into plank. Do a yogi push-up. Push up into upward dog. Your thighs should be lifted here, gaze up, and then back into downward dog. That is an option for anyone who wants a little added oomph. If there's enough oomph already, then just follow me. We have to repeat that on the left-hand side. So on the breath in, we're going to lift our left leg up and back, bend our knee, open up the hip. Come back to three-legged dog. On the inhale, bring that foot forward, plant it between your hands. Your back foot comes at a 45-degree angle and you rise up into warrior one. Again, hips need to be facing front as much as you can. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. Your knee bent, hands up. Gaze should be up at your hands. And breathe. On the next breath, you're going to open up into warrior two, okay? Again, your stance is a little bit wider. The front foot's heel should make an imaginary line straight back to the arch of your back foot. Okay, hands are up, they're energetic. They're not just like spaghettis here. No, you want them energized. Your tips of your middle finger pointing out and opposing forces to one another. And your gaze is over your front hand. And breathe. Try to push your shoulders, melt them down your back. You don't want them up here, okay? You want these energized, but you don't want your shoulders up. You want your shoulders to be melting down your back. And hold for 2 more breaths. On the next inhale, we're going to straighten the front leg, push our left hand out as far as we can. Once you've met your max, drop that hand to your thigh, your knee, your calf, the floor, wherever you could reach, and shoot your right hand up to the sky. Look at that thumb. Now it's more important that you're opening your chest. That's more important than how far down you go. If you're down here, but you're not open and your chest is facing the floor, that's not a correct triangle. You want to open up your side body so that you're facing the side of the room. Okay, so if you have to be up here to accomplish that, then that's where you are, and that's a beautiful thing. Okay, just make sure you're open. I should have did this side first, so I would have faced you the first round, but we have another round of this, so don't worry. All right, on the next inhale, we're going to make our left hand come out towards the wall, right hand comes over the head, and we are using our core here. Here we are. Try again. Don't push your chest towards the floor. Push it up. And come up all the way. That was a lot, right? Whew! I'm really feeling this now. Cartwheel the hands down onto the mat around your foot. Send that foot back. If you want to do a chaturanga, go for it. If not, we're meeting in downward dog. 3 breaths here before we do that all again. And we're going to add something on here. All right, when you're ready, breath in, let your foot rise up, your right foot back up behind you. Open up your hip. If it's in your practice, you can flip your dog, meaning put your foot behind you, shine your heart to the sky. If not, stay there. We're coming back. 3-legged dog. Bring that foot forward in between your hands. Drop the back foot to a 45-degree angle. Come up, warrior one. I'm going to move a little bit more quickly this round, okay? On the next breath, change into warrior two. Straighten that front leg, come out over the front leg, drop the right hand, look up, gaze to your finger, triangle pose. On the next breath, put your right hand out, left hand comes over, hold that beach ball. Come up to center, rebend that front foot, tip your palm up and back. This is called reverse warrior. Your hand's going to be coming down your back. If you're advanced, you can also do a little bind. Put your left hand around into your right hip crease. Just keep that bend in the front leg. Your gaze should be up. Your heart shining up as much as possible. And cartwheel your hands down to the floor to frame your foot. Send that foot back. If you're up for it, do a three-legged chaturanga. Go for it. Foot hits the floor in upward dog. If not, just meet us in downward dog. We're going to do the left side. On the next breath, lift that leg up into the air, your left leg. Bend your knee, open up your hip. If it's in your practice, flip your dog. Gaze up, heart to the sky. Come back, three-legged dog. Send that foot in between your hands. Back leg plants at a 45-degree angle. Rise up. Warrior one. Next breath, warrior two. Straight that front leg on the next breath. Come into triangle pose. Gaze is up at the thumb. On the next breath, rebend that front leg. Tip your left palm up and back. Reverse warrior. Let's stay here for a minute. We haven't come here yet on this side. Take an extra breath. And come back down. Hands frame the foot. Send that back leg, three-legged dog, left leg back. If you want, come into a three-legged chaturanga. Foot hits the floor in upward dog, and then back into downward dog. Like I said, just meet us in downward dog if you're not up for the chaturanga. That's perfectly fine. Okay, one more round. We're going to add on one more thing. Whew. All right, right leg up in the air, three-legged dog, bend your hip. We're going to skip the flip this time. Come up into three-legged dog, send your foot in between your hands, plant the back leg, come up, warrior one. On the next breath, spread out, warrior two. Straighten that front leg on the next breath, come out and over the front leg. Look up at your hand, triangle pose. Bring your right hand up. Left hand over your head, hold that beach ball, and then come up, rebend the front knee into peaceful warrior. On the next breath, we're going to come into half moon. Your right hand's going to come out, start to balance on your right foot. Your right hand's going to come out a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right of your front foot to give you balance. You're going to lift your right leg up, your left leg up and back behind you. If you can, you'll put your left palm up into the air for half moon pose. Flex the back foot, try to hold it. If this is not working for you, it's perfectly fine to stay here with your hands on your hip, both hands down on the floor, whatever you need. Just play with it, just be playful. Don't be hard on yourself. On the next breath, rebend the front foot, plant the back leg, cartwheel your hands down to frame your foot, send your right leg up and back. Meet us in downward dog or come down for that three-legged chaturanga. Good job, guys. You're doing great. Stick with it. We're getting close to coming down to the mat, all right? Next side, left leg on the breath in, left leg shoots up and back behind you. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Come back to three-legged dog and swing your foot in between your hands. Plant the back leg. Rise up into warrior one. On the next breath, open up to warrior two. Next breath, straighten the right leg. Push forward. Bring your left hand down, right hands up for triangle. On the next breath, left hand lifts, right hand comes over your head. Hold that beach ball. You got it. You got this. I'm with you. Come up to center. Rebend the front leg into peaceful warrior. On the next breath, your left hand's going to come about 6 inches to the left of your front foot. You're going to pop up, lift your back leg up off the floor. Left hand, you're now balancing on your left hand and left foot. If you can, reach your right hand up to the sky. If you can, turn your gaze towards that right hand, flex the back foot, and stay here for half moon. This is one of my favorite poses. I just love messing around with this pose. There's so many different ways to do it. It's really hard, but it really brings your attention and your focus. You have to stay focused to do this. All right, on the next breath, bring that hand down, rebend your front knee, drop your back leg onto the ground, cartwheel your hands down to the mat, left leg up. If you want to do the three-legged chaturanga, go for it. You guys are doing great. I've underestimated how difficult this is to do and teach at the same time. But here we are. And we are almost coming down. Woo! Deep breath in. Take a little breather here. You guys are doing great. Stay with it. We have one more round of that before we come down to the mat. Just checking on the time here. Okay. Okay. Last round and then we're coming down. Ready? Lift up that leg, right leg. We're going to go a little faster. One breath, one movement. Right leg up and back behind you. Planted in between your hands. Rise up. Warrior one. Open up. Warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Come out over it. Triangle pose. Lift that front hand over your head. Left hand over your head to meet it. Hold that beach ball. Come up on the inhale and bend your front knee into peaceful warrior. On the next breath, your right hand comes down and a little bit out in front of you over your mat. Lift that back leg up, come into half moon. This time, if you want to mess around with half moon, you can try to grab your ankle. You could also try to lift your right hand off the floor a little bit, play with your balance. Do something funky, have fun with it. If you fall out, and you come right back. All right, next breath, your back foot plants, and we're gonna do side angle pose to finish. Your front knee is bent, your right hand is gonna come down to the mat, and your left hand's gonna shoot out over your head. This is side angle pose. We're gonna stay here for 2 breaths because we haven't been here yet. The next breath, your hands are going to come down on either side of your foot, and you're sending your right leg back. Come into downward dog or three-legged chaturanga. One more side, and then we're coming down. On the inhale, lift your left leg up and back. Open up your hip. Come back to three-legged dog. Bring that foot forward, rise up, warrior one. On the next breath, open up, warrior two. On the next breath, straighten that front foot, come out over it into triangle pose. On the next breath, right hand comes over your head, left hand comes out. Hold that beach ball and rise up. Woo! Rebend that front knee, come in to reverse warrior. On the next breath in, your left hand's gonna come right above your mat. You're gonna be coming into half moon. If you want to play around with it, now's the time. Lift your left hand off the floor, try to bring it to heart center. You could also try to bend your right knee, grab a hold of your foot. Play around. If you fall, no big deal. It's your own practice, no one else is around. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, on the next inhale, you're going to bring your foot back, rebend your front knee. Left hand's going to come down to the mat. Right hand send over your head towards where the ceiling meets the wall, and your gaze should be up there too. Side angle pose. Hold for 2 breaths, and then we're coming down. All right, hands frame your foot. Send that left leg back. One last three-legged chaturanga if you want. Hit the floor in upward dog. Come back into downward dog. Good job, guys. All right, that was our flow. Now we can come down and do a little last push on our abs. Walk your feet forward, find a comfortable seat. We're going to sit our legs through. Whew. All right, we're going to come into boat pose. That is an ab workout for sure. So what we're going to do for boat is you're going to try to balance on the seat, okay? So you're gonna have to put your back a little bit, try to lift your legs up and find where you can balance, okay? Ideally, your hands will be here with the palms up. Your knees can be bent. Ideally, you want to extend your legs all the way, but you don't have it in you, it's not a big deal. I actually don't know if I could do it because my hamstrings are feeling a little tight today. So I might have my knees bent too, but whatever it is, be proud of where you're at. And we're gonna hold it for 5 breaths, and we're gonna do 2 rounds, okay? So maybe you go a little deeper the second time, and the first time you're in a different position, that's okay too. Let's see what happens. Let's lean back, arms out, palms up, knees bent. See how this feels. If this feels good, start to straighten your legs more and more, and hold, okay? Wherever you are, just hold. Make sure your heart is shining forward. That's the most important part. And you're in boat. Woo! Bakasana. It's a tough one. Here we go. We're on breath 3. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Take a break. I said Bakasana, but I meant Navasana. I apologize. All right, we're going to do our second round. See if you can straighten your legs a little bit more. Any little bit counts. It's an improvement. If you're just not feeling it, you're not feeling it, and it's not a big deal. Don't judge yourself, okay? Push back. Find that balance. Knees up, palms up. And straighten your legs whatever amount you can. Shine that heart forward, and let's breathe 5 breaths. We're on breath 2. 2 more breaths. You got this. And release. Woo! You should really be feeling this in your core. If you're not, whew, I give you a lot of credit. All right. To counter that, we are going to be coming into Baddha Konasana A. Okay, so we're going to come down to a comfortable seat. Like, again, I'm facing you, but you should be at the top of your mat. Your legs are going to be straight out in front of you. And you're going to bend your knees, touch your feet together, and bring in your knees as close to your pelvis as possible, wherever that is. And then you're going to bend over it as far as you can without hunching over, okay? So keep your spine long and just release over your legs, keeping that spine long. On every exhale, see if you could get a little bit deeper. Long, straight spine. See how deep you can go. As you can see, I really can't go that far in this position, and that's okay. I'm happy with where I am. If you need to use your elbows to push your legs down, that's also okay. Or if you want to push your legs down, I don't recommend doing that. I think that you have enough pressure as it is. But if you're extra flexible and you need a little more pressure, you can try that. And we're going to come up. We're going to now do Baddha Konasana B, which is making your feet, you're going to basically push the soles of your feet out until you form a diamond shape. And then you're going to release over your legs with a rounded back. I like to put my hands underneath and kind of come as close as I can down, kind of looking like a turtle shell. Okay, so I have my forearms on the floor, and I'm going to roll over and just sit here for a few breaths. Come up from there. Oh, it feels good. So this is the portion of class where I like to do an inversion practice, and an inversion doesn't have to be you doing a handstand or a headstand. I know those are difficult and they take a lot of practice, but it could be as simple as a supported shoulder stand, which I'll demonstrate for you. If you have a block, great, a book, anything that you can sit on, put under your seat. If you don't have this, you can just do a regular shoulder stand, and I'll show you how to do it. But you're going to come to a seat, roll onto your back. You're going to push your booty up into the air. If you have a block, then you would put it under your seat like this, and then send your legs straight up into the air. And here you are in supported shoulder stand. I like to keep my feet flexed. And this is just kind of like a relaxing way to get your feet above your head. If you don't have a block, you can do, or you just feel like doing a regular shoulder stand, I'll show you how to do that. Push this block aside. You're going to come, push your booty up into the air and catch it with your hands. Okay? See how my triceps are on the floor, my hands come behind my seat, and my feet go straight up into the air. And now you're in shoulder stand. If you have a different inversion that you want to practice, that's fine. Go into it now. I could also demonstrate a headstand for you. Let me come down. Whew. Wherever you are is perfect. Just stay there. If you want to try a headstand, you can. I recommend trying it against the wall if you're not. I'll show you how to do that. If you're not like very secure in your headstand, you don't want to fall. So you need to put your forearms on the floor and your head in between them. You do not want a ton of pressure on your head, okay? Your forearms should be supporting you. So put it down like this. I'll do it against the wall so you can see. Booty up into the air. Bring one leg in and the other leg in. Find your balance. And if you're fine here, just stay here. If you want a little bit more, bring one leg up and then the other. And then just pull your navel towards your back so you're in a straight line and point your toes. Okay? Takes a lot of work, but a good practice if you're looking to get into a headstand and you haven't gotten the shoulder strength yet, because it does take a lot out of your shoulders. A great pose is dolphin, which is also a type of inversion. You just put your forearms on the floor, come into downward dog, but on your forearms, and your head's not touching the floor. And if you do this, you're really going to build up your shoulder strength, and eventually you'll be able to push forward into a headstand if that's what you're working on. So whatever inversion you chose to do it for a few more seconds, and then we'll all come down and meet on our backs. We're going to end with a supine twist. So when you're ready, come back down to your mat. Roll onto your back. Excuse me. All right. So bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Roll out on your spine a little bit. We did a lot of work today. And then just let your knees fall to the right, stacked up on each other. And bring your left hand out to the side and just have a little supine twist. Should feel really good after all the hard work we did today. And just breathe. And bring your knees back to your heart center. Let them fall to the other side. And breathe. Good job today, guys. I know that class was a little bit difficult. It took a lot of energy out. Thank you for sharing this journey with me. You're now coming into your final resting pose. So your legs are going to come out into Shavasana. Relax your feet, relax your hands, palms up so you suck in all the great energy in the room. I recommend you stay here for at least 5 minutes, if not more. I will not stay with you this whole time. Everyone can do what's best for them. But the goal is to just come down, relax, bring your breathing back to normal, quiet your mind, enjoy the tranquility that you've just accomplished by moving your body. I'm going to end with the quote for class today. Stay in Shavasana as long as you can, as long as you like. Thank you for sharing your journey with me today. As we begin to experience a visceral connection with the needs of our bodies, there is a new capacity to love ourselves. It redirects our attention to our health, our diets, our energy, our time management, and eventually this enhanced care will begin to arise spontaneously, rather than as a response to what we should do. And I hope through this class today you've come a little closer to accomplishing that goal. Release the tension from your toes, from your heels. Let them splay out to the side. Release the tension from your calves, your knees, your hips. Release your belly, your shoulders, your neck, the space in between your eyebrows. Relax your jaw, relax your head, and just enjoy your Shavasana. Thank you for sharing this journey with me. Namaste.